so important. So if either of you could comment on that, that would be great, because we're trying to do an article on the value of arts and innovation and the value of keeping arts in the school.
Okay.
So go for it. And are you?
Yeah.
This way I don't have to.
Yeah.
Rewrite it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just click at the audio.
You
go right ahead.
Well, okay, so a lot of times for arts in the school is that you have, I guess that when you look at a middle school situation, you have, and I always tell the kids is like, this is where you don't get to choose what you want to do yet, but you get to see all the options that you have and all the different areas in which you can succeed. And art is one of those areas in which the child, no matter whatever their level of skill is, or where they're at, can find success. You know, so it's not a simple, 1 + 1 is 2. This is the place where no matter what, like, they are accepted and they can find success in there. And it's sometimes, I think it's a very good thing for people to go to school and feel successful somewhere. And sometimes the art room is the only place. Sometimes the band room is the only place. It's these things that go outside of the standard structure that kids find homes. They find their voice, or they get the pat on the back for doing a great job. And for a lot of us, sometimes the classes, the art classes, are the only classes they look forward to. Or I've heard things even with music, considering that being the arts or tech. One kid said that the only reason why he stayed in like coming to school was because of the violin lessons. So there's all these avenues in which we can expose children to, so they can find more about what they like and what they don't like. So when they move on to the high school, they now understand a little bit more what they're picking.
And just to feel successful in anything, and sometimes in any school district, these students have challenges at home or at school or whatever it is, and that could just be the motivation to take it to the next level.
Or take pride in something, like they built it from the ground up. We also teach how to take something that's in your head and create it into an actual design. So there's a process of, you think about it, you process it, you design it, then you actually create it, start to finish. So it's not like willy-nilly, you slap paint on the paper and you're like, I'm done. But they've actually thought of the process, and they have that, it teaches them to kind of like, I want to say, a little bit of patience, and to work through an idea, understand how they thought it would turn out, and how to compromise and adjust to the materials, to the environment. And we're constantly giving them different materials and different textures and different things.
They could be creative and innovative that way.
Yeah, and we're pretty open. Some of them are like, can I add to my project? And a lot of the guidelines that we give them, they all get the same directions, but yet they all produce something different. So it's kind of, you find this freedom within the rules.
And there's less competition that way, I'm assuming, too.
Yeah, we can make some. Yeah.
So that's good, because there's so much challenge about competing to be first, and it's somewhat subjective. I mean, there are obviously better pieces of art than not, but still, everything is unique and wonderful in its own way.
Well, when my kid always says, like, I'm not a good artist because I can't draw realistic. I was like, did you know that people who draw really realistic teach people to draw realistic, and people who can express themselves in a manner in which no one's seen before are the ones that actually make money? So when you're talking about what is good and what is not good, there's really no line. It just depends on what you want. Like, if I was going to hang a picture in my house, I don't want to hang a portrait of someone I don't know. I would hang a piece of artwork that may express something to me, or just match my furniture. Or, so there's so many different levels in which what is good versus what is not good. So we focus a lot on effort. So as long as they're putting up effort and they're following through, a lot of them take a lot of pride in their work, and it's something that they didn't expect.
And it carries through with everything else they're doing.
Yeah, and hopefully, like, what we do is you focus on developing a plan, working through it, and just going through the trials to finish it. That's the same thing that you need to do in life. And in your other classes, you're not going to get your answer in 1 minute. Like, these projects don't take one class; they develop over weeks sometimes. So it's that long-term commitment, and then getting the goal at the end. So.
Well, thank you for what you do. That's really wonderful. I think I really want to sign up for your classes.
No, thank you.
Okay, and how about you? You have anything to add, especially with children at such a young age who are so...
I think you said was right. So we try to do different techniques, different mediums. Right, it's not so much as how it turns out, it's the effort. And,
Can I ask ask you, this is just from an observation, my kids are older, but the question I have is there's so much video games and so much that being influx, when you say patience, I'm just thinking is that instant gratification, how does that happen?
Their schooling, I think. I see it at the lower level. They don't have a lot of like fine motor skills anymore. There's, I don't know, I see it more at the younger level. It's a little bit more challenging.
So how are they going to be surgeons if they can't do those fine motor skills?
Right. We're working on it.
Yeah, so they need art to be good surgeons because there's too many video games.
Yeah.
But so is it the patience an issue then because of the video game era that we're in?
I think once they get going, I think that the video games give them instant gratification. Sometimes explaining the steps, you'll see the attention span is not really there. But once they get going and they actually have something to touch and do, they find that more stimulating. That's why they're you see that new craze that's coming out, those little spin wheel things.
Yes.
I'm too old for this.
Oh no, they're playing with these weird spinners, and I think it's that there's this desire to do something with their hands. Like there may be a shift, I don't know, but a lot of times is that with some of these, once they get going, it's funny because I always tell people, I was like, I know my class is loud, that when I did not explain what was going on correctly, because as soon as they start working, you hear the voices just dim down, and then they're focused, and they enjoy it. So a lot of times when they're louder, it's only because they don't enjoy the project, or I didn't explain it properly.
They're disconnected in some way.
Yeah. And it's neat because there's a couple projects we do, and you can kind of hear them chatter, and then I was like, all right, guys, here's your stuff. Get started. And you can hear a pin drop because they're focused, and I think they enjoy that. They don't know they enjoy it. I think there's something kind of like.
There's another one of our art teachers.
Yeah, I know. We were just talking the day before yesterday.
Well, we're good. We're doing hopefully an article about this and value that. This time I didn't get you orders since I got these guys.
Ah, well, I'm on the other side because this is my department here.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm in the high school with these guys.
Well, we know this works.
Yeah, so.
Great. And thank you. This was a really valuable interview, and we appreciate your time. That's awesome. So they done you well.
That's awesome. Good deal.
Thank you.